Hi, how are all you doing? I hope you're all doing well. This is a short description and comment on the syllabus for MAN6726. Glad you're joining this class. It's one of my favorite classes to teach. One of my favorite topics to touch on and talk about is strategy. That's been most of my business career has been involved with that, and a lot of work I do here at FIU on the teaching side is strategy based, and it's fascinating. I find that strategy is really all about everything, and particularly, of course, your business life, but also your personal life. And I think that you're going to see lots of application of the kind of things we look at as strategic thinking for business carries over very much into your personal life. To me, everything is a strategic approach, a strategic way of thinking, and strategically planning for your business, for your life, and for what you're going to do with your family. Everything kind of falls into a process and a disciplined way of thinking to make sure you are as effective as possible. Again, not only at work, but also in your life. So that's my enjoyment of this class, is really to discuss how things work out in a way to approach that so you can be more effective in your work and your life. You're going to see that we have 3 books in this class, and they're inexpensive and books you'll want to keep around with you as you go through your career. You'll see Good Strategy, Bad Strategy by Richard Rumelt. I had the good opportunity to meet with Rumelt some time ago, and I had even dinner with him, and I sat across from him and we talked about his book, and he's considered one of the gurus of strategic thinking out there at Stanford University, and his book is very much to the point, and I like that a lot. It's a really clear description and coverage of what is good strategy and bad strategy, as the title says. I think that that's a key element of strategy, is to be clear, focused, and not use a lot of nonsensical and meaningless wording to describe what you're going to do and what you want to do in terms of strategy. Then you see the Harvard Review book. That has a whole lot of articles. We're not going to read them all, but you'll see the key ones and some classic descriptions and classic discussions about strategy that are very important. That's a kind of book you'll want to have and refer to, and it should spur your thinking and insight. And finally, see my book on strategy, Inspired Logical Strategy That Works. It's a very practical look at the process that we're going to be using quite a bit in this course on strategy formation. So the books really deal with the theoretical, the academic, the kind of classical and traditional and overview strategy, and a very practical way of implementing strategy. So that's the concept. You have theory, you have academia, you have a historical basis, and you have practical application in this course. So that, I hope you appreciate that and can benefit from that. Let me see what else. You've seen probably from my other video on this, I've got most of my career has been in business, primarily on the financial institution side, a lot in consulting as well, and most of that dealt with strategic development of business, and I worked in US, Latin America, Europe, and Asia, implementing strategy for business growth in all those areas. So a lot of what we cover here is very experience-based, it's practical, and there are things that I truly believe will help you do better in your careers going forward. This is, as you know, an online course, and it's a short course, and that requires discipline from you. What will happen is you'll see, rather than over 16 weeks where you have to look at everything in like 7 or 8 weeks, you'll see some kind of crushing in together of a lot of the reading and work. Just do it. It's not that hard. I think that if but you can't get 2 weeks behind either. Everything you'll see on the course is already up on the course, so you can go at your own pace. You can finish in a week if you want. You do however you want to cover it. Everything is there already. All the tests, quizzes, the cases, and all the material is available to you to work in your own pace. But at the same time, don't fall behind, because you only have a short amount of time to do that. I don't have projects in this course because it's short, so you're basically going to go through the material, and it works pretty well. You'll see. I have video lectures on all the material. There are PowerPoints on all the material. There's a test review in front of every test. So if you do the material and you watch the lectures and you do the test reviews, you're going to be absolutely fine in terms of grade. I hope, in fact, that you don't think about the grade as much as you do about what you can learn and apply. If you look at it that way, like this is going to help me do better in business, and I'm going to be a better strategist and be able to think more clearly on strategy, you're going to enjoy this, and the grading part will be quite easy. At the same time, if you don't watch the lectures and do the PowerPoints and all that, it's going to be a little more difficult. I like to see that we don't have a whole lot of opportunity to express your thoughts, but there are the case studies and there are some questions in the test that do allow you to explain how you think. Saying that, I don't need to see a repetition of what I wrote already or said or all that, or what somebody else has said. You need to use that as your base, but I really want to see how have you developed some insight on that? How does that work with your own experience? How does that how can you apply that? And do you really understand it? A repetition of what some of the concepts and tools are doesn't let me know if you get it. And since we're not in class, I can't really question you and say, hey, what does this mean to you? Explain yourself. So give yourself some opportunity to flesh out the answers when you have the chance on the short answers or on the case studies. When there's some area to show that you understand it, let me know. Don't be afraid to show what you know. Some students, for whatever reason, seem to limit themselves on their exposition of what they know. Don't do that. Give it a shot. That's how we can tell. I can tell. You can tell if you've got it and if you can use it. So again, I want to see, and I say we because I hope it's you too. We want to see insight, understanding, and application of the concepts and tools of strategy that we're going to be covering in this course. As I said, there are 3 quizzes, 2 tests, and 2 mini cases that are, and really they're not difficult, but you have to do them well, and you'll be fine in terms of grading. Though this is an online course, I'm always around, I'm always available. Let me know if you need to talk to me, if you want to talk, if you have a concept you want to share, a thought, a comment. Many students talk about their own businesses that they're working on. A lot of you work. There are things that are going on in your career and your job that are strategic, and you want to say, how does this apply to what I'm doing right now? I'm happy to do that. I love doing that. So really feel free to engage me in any way. Use the email. We can set up a Zoom call, text, or whatever. Call me. And I'll set up some Zoom calls depending on what your schedule is like. Usually they tell me what is a good day for you, but they didn't in this class. But I'll set up Zoom calls. They're optional. I can't, of course, it's an online course, so they're optional. But if you join those, it's been highly beneficial to past classes to have discussion on strategy and anything that might interest you. And I'll set those up as we go along. I think that's it. Again, look over the syllabus. Everything is there. If you see anything that's not right, let me know. But you see all the syllabus elements are there. Look at the assignments because all your assignments are there. Go over the modules carefully, and you'll see that you have everything pretty clearly defined. Again, it's an online course, so you're responsible for looking at your announcements, looking at your email, looking at the modules, looking at what's coming up, and looking at your assignments. I have to say I'm very flexible in terms of if you miss something or don't do something, or you miss a test date or a quiz date or something, just let me know. I don't want to hear a lot of excuses. Whatever happened to your grandmother, whatever. It's not necessary. Just say, I didn't do the test on this day. Can you reopen it? It's fine. I watch that too. I look at everything and I will reopen it. My point is I want you to learn and complete all the work. I never have penalties for missed work or late work, etc. I just don't think that's the point. So, but be professional. You're master's level students. Most of you are working. Many of you want big careers as you go forward. So show professionalism, dedication, and do your very best work in this class, and you'll be more than fine. Okay, hope that makes sense. Again, please do let me know if you have any questions, concerns, or whatever on the syllabus or the course as we go along. And I appreciate your attention. Look forward to working with you over this next semester. Thanks a lot.